I'll just show you where it is and how to use it.
Okay.
Make sure. Did I start? All right, pulling up the calculator. Here's the calculator. The E that you're talking about double E, and that's not what you want. Here's E right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, that's the one I use.
All right, so you type in $5,000.
10,000.
Okay, 10,000.
Just
I'm sorry.
hypothetically speaking.
10,000. And then second function, E. And then I think it's to the NT power. So,
The NT.
yeah, it's compounded, or y'all have to look. I don't know. Somebody look at the formula right quick. It's to the, I know T is in there for the number of years.
I've got APR times Y.
E to the APR times Y. Okay. Then that would be, what percent? Give me a percent.
3.75%.
So that'd be 0.0375.
Times
And how many years?
1, 5, and 20.
Well, we'll just do 1 year first. And that's going to be that number right there. And then here's the good part. Hit second function.
I know what I did.
Hit second function and entry. And then you can just backspace.
Second
And what's the next one? 5.
Yeah.
And then what's the next one?
So,
How much? 20. So it's 20 and then close parentheses. There should be your 3 answers. Got it? All right.
but it wasn't asking me simple questions like that. Then it was asking me also find the APY maybe.
You sent it to me?
No,
No.
well, you didn't answer me the last time. I quit sending you things.
What? What do you mean?
I sent you something the very first chapter. Not the very first chapter, but a couple of chapters back and you didn't.
Well, I'm sorry, I missed it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've just dropped off my perfection level. Let's see, 4C. I think that's where we are right now. Somebody check me if I'm wrong. Savings plans and investments. That's what I thought. And we were on the second, which I still don't understand why they hadn't put. They should have a formula in a box with that second formula. I don't think it's right. They should have a box like that right there. But I hadn't seen it yet. And that's why I'm a little bit weary of the one we used the other day. See, it's supposed to be like this right here. No, it's supposed to be payment. Bothers me when they don't follow through and do things. See, and there's no formula. That's not it. Yeah. So I guess we're just going to have to go with what I said. Payment equals A times APR over N, all over that. Now the 50,000, but we didn't get finished doing that. The 50,000 is going to be at 0.07, so you're going to have to divide. So that comes out to 714,000. You have to, and you round that to 715, because you want to at least have 50,000 a year. So you have to remember to do 50,000 divided by 0.07, or by the rate. So you need to put that in there. We forgot to do that. Let me go remind you what the question said. You'll quit coughing for 5 seconds. Yep, it's all our fault. Right here, 50,000 per year. APR of 7%. So at that point, you need to take 50,000 and divide by 0.07. Somebody do that with your calculator. Okay, 50,000 and divide by 0.07. And that's the number you want. Now you're not going to do 714,000. You're going to round it up to 715,000. Because you don't, or 720,000 or something like that. You don't want to put the exact number. Okay, you could put 714,300, or you could put 715,000, or you could put 720,000. But don't put exactly the number in 71 cents, because you want to have a little bit more. So we're going to go 715,000. So the 715,000, I need to turn the page, sorry, hold on. It's going to go right there with the A. It's in pine trees.
This will be the last chapter we have.
Well, yeah, because I don't do the Unit 4 because it's useless. That's why I put it last. I want to get to income tax before we have a test, though. We'll have a test like the last day of class, which is the 27th. That'll be your last test, and it'll end on the last day of exams. So during the last day of exams, you have 2 tests. We got to take an in-class exam. Okay, I'll give you 5 questions. Huh? 5 questions. Yeah, it's going to be simple. I shouldn't say that, because I'm supposed to give you an in-class test so you can make bad grades so you can fail the class. That's what I'm supposed to do. So them making me give in-class tests is supposed to bring my retention down. That's what it's supposed to do. My retention, meaning supposed to make some of our students fail.
I was letting my daughter sleep.
Yeah.
She was like, how do you fail the class? I said, you act like Katie and you just be a jerk and you just don't do what you're going to do.
Who's Katie?
That's the girl that got kicked out.
Oh, yeah. Is that her first name? What was her last name?
Coward.
What?
Coward.
I can't remember. But anyway, she was.
Yeah, but see, my daughter was friends with her. They're not as good friends as they used to be. But, yeah, that's what I told her. I said, she was absolutely being disrespectful.
Yeah.
You get kicked out of this class because if you fail, you either don't care or you're dumb.
Yeah, or you're lazy. One of the
Yeah.
3. All right, so when you punch that in, you get $882. So this is all y'all have to do. How old? Let's see, how old are y'all right now? The average age of probably what, 30? Okay, 29, right? Okay, so let's say that you want to save for 25 years, and all you got to do is put in $882 a month for the next 25 years. I'll just keep fooling with the cows. That's my retirement. And they keep the grass down. Now, the one I really want to get you to do is this next one. Oh, I don't want stocks. We don't go through stocks, do we?
That said socks. I was like, look at there, this guy said it's truck socks, right there.
4C. We don't go through 4C, do we?
Yes.
Well, we're not going through stocks, because nobody fools with stocks around here. And if you want to, you need to learn about them.
Income taxes.
No, that's not it. The next one is 4D.
Loan payments.
There's the depressing part. That's where I make all y'all really depressed. There is the formula right there. Let me blow it up. This one, this section that I'm teaching you last week, I don't care if you failed the class. I hope you write this stuff down because you're going to see it again with your banks, with your car payment, with your mortgages, especially this one. This is the villain. When you do a car payment or you do a house payment, that's what you use right there. I guarantee you, if you bought a car, you've never seen that before. Because they like to hide it. That's why they always ask you, first thing you get on the car lot when they ask you, how low a payment do you want? That's the trap. I can get you down as low as you want. How low do you want to go? Well, you're going to see why. Payment, that's your car payment or your house payment. Principal is how much you borrow. APR is your rate. N is monthly pay, or most of the time it's going to be payment periods per year, which is monthly. 90% of the time that's going to be 12. And this guy right here is N to the Y power, NT power. The only thing I don't like about this is this guy is to the negative NT power. And I'm going to flip that over to make that a positive. And I'll do that in just a minute. Okay? But we're going to cut this guy out. We're going to cut him out because we're going to take him over to another page. And 90% of your test, or 80% of your test, is going to be based off of this guy right here. Okay? I want to make sure, kind of like some of my algebra classes, I want to make sure everybody knows when they leave my class, they know how to make change, and they know how to, or basic math class, know how to make change and know how to read a fraction, read a ruler, and how to add fractions. Well, in this class, I want you to be able to do two things out of this chapter, and that's one, be able to do this formula, and two, be able to read your income taxes. Okay? So, this is a major thing on this test.
And the final or just this one?
Both. Put it on both. Now, yeah, she's leaving. Let me give you a nice example. All right, here's a student loan. We'll snip it out too. All right, so I'm going to pull up my handy dandy whiteboard. And we're going to bring in this question. She had to go take a swig. All right, write that down. And then we'll bring in our handy dandy formula. There it is. Now I want you to start plugging and chugging on this problem. Now you may not be able to finish it, and that's okay. Well, that's the whole point of us going over it. So, we've got $7,500. Now, think of $7,500 as a loan, okay? A loan is also a car payment or a car loan. You could put $22,000 in here for a car loan. The formula is the same. APR is 0.09 over N, which should be 12, over 1 minus 1 plus 0.09 over 12 raised to the negative 12 times how many years? 10? The only thing I don't like is this guy right here. So I'm going to do something here in just a second to make that easier. So for the numerator, I'm going to pull out my handy dandy calculator. And for the numerator, I'm going to get 0.09 divided by 12 times 7,500. And that's equal to 56.25, and I'm going to stow that. And alpha numerator, which is N, which is, I don't know where it is, there it is. And that's in it. Now the bottom, I'm concerned with this negative 120 right here. I want to make that positive. So I'll do what's inside the parentheses first. 0.09 divided by 12 plus 1. Now, that's 1.0075 over 1, right? So if I want to make that a positive 120, all I do is whatever's in here, I flip it what? Upside down, and that'll make this a positive. So that's what I'm going to do. And the only reason I'm doing that is because that's the way I want to do it. Now, you can do it however you want to. I don't care. But I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to rewrite it so you'll understand what I'm doing. So the top came out to be what? 56 point what? 56.25 over 1 minus parentheses 1.0075 over 1 raised to the negative 1/20th power. Okay, now I really don't like that negative 120, so I'm going to flip this upside down, and that'll make that positive 120. So I'm going to draw an arrow here, and I'm going to do 56.25 divided by 1 minus parentheses 1 over 1.0075 raised to the 120th power. And that is going to be your answer. So I take my handy dandy calculator and now I clear it and I say 1 divided by 1.0075 is equal to that number. I'm going to raise that to the 120th power. That's going to give me that. And then I'm going to subtract that from 1. I get that number. And that's my denominator. Alpha stove, alpha D. Now what I do? Alpha N, numerator, divided by alpha D. And that's equal to $95 a month. Now, what did we just figure? Well, suppose you have a student loan totaling $7,500 when you graduate from college. Okay, we're gonna stop right now and we're gonna go into real world. All right? If you go to college, you're gonna have what? Student debt. So a lot has to do with you paying off that debt is getting a what? Job. Do you pursue a degree in underwater firefighting? Or do you pursue a degree in something that you get a job in? Something you get a job in. Okay? There are so many degree programs. Now, not at Tri-County Tech, because Tri-County Tech is a community college. It's a college that's basically feeding off of a technical, vocational type education system. So you're not going to get a foo-foo degree at Tri-County Tech. You're going to get a degree that can be used. All right? But some of these four-year colleges, research universities, offering some of these degrees in female statistics or female number management or something like that. They're bogus. You don't sign up for stuff like that. You can take a class, that's fine. But you don't get a degree in it because what are you going to do with it? Nothing. All right? One of the biggest problems with our school systems, and I'm talking about in all the states, is we offer degrees in political science. That's good. If you're going to be a what? A lawyer. But see, what happens is Johnny Smith, he says, well, I really don't want to work. I really don't want to study. So what's the easiest program I can get into, get a degree out of? Political science. So Johnny gets a degree in political science. He goes for 4 years, gets a degree in political science at blah, blah, blah university. And then he can't get a job because he has no skills except for what? Political science, which you use in what? Law. You see what I'm saying? So Johnny can't get a job because everybody that he talks to says, well, you're not qualified. But Johnny got his easy degree. And what's Johnny going to be fussing about? Student debt, because he can't pay his debt because he ain't got a job. Whose fault is that? Johnny's. Sorry. These are the express written opinions of Hubert McClure, and hope you learned something. Okay? Don't go out and get a job in underwater basket weaving. I mean, get a degree in something that don't have a job. What do you have your degree in? Sociology. Really? Sociology. I think you can do a little bit better in sociology. Okay, now if you're going into social work, that's good. But you know how many people go into social work? About as many people as go into nursing. As many people go into teaching. It's about flooded. So these are things you need to discuss with the advisor at the college that you go to. Say, look, I'd like to go into sports medicine, but everybody's brother is going into sports medicine. Is it flooded? And that's what the advisor is supposed to tell you. Okay, I'll shut up. Now, what do you do with this number? Well, this is your payment. How many payments have you made? Well, 12 times a year for 10 years is what? So you take that number and multiply by what? By how many payments? Yes. So you have paid $11,400.81 for a what? $7,500 loan. Now this is when it hits the fan. Some people are like, wait a minute, that's not right. Yeah, it is. Very right. You've got a $7,500 loan. By the time you get through paying it off, you basically what? Almost doubled it. That's the cost of money. Cost of money is this guy right here. If you rent a lawnmower, it costs $25 per month to rent a lawnmower, right? If you go and get one of these refrigerators, one appliances, you rent appliances, go and get a refrigerator. You rent it. You rent it for $30 a month, right? When you borrow money, isn't borrowing money the same as borrowing or renting a refrigerator? Yes, it's the same thing. Hate to say that, but it is. You pay for it. And this is how you pay for it. Let's try one more. And let's just take this guy out. Will you be quiet? It's at 11:15. I got plenty of time. I just wanted to get your hopes up. You want to buy a car. And you go up to the salesman and say, I want to buy a car. And he says, what's the lowest payment you want? Oh, I don't know what to get. Well, let's look at some cars. First car you walk up to, you love it. It's $22,000. I tell you what, y'all need to drink more orange juice. All right, and we're talking about an APR. We're gonna sell you this car, and we're gonna give you a good price, a good 6%. And we want that payment to go low so you can afford it. So we're gonna finance this car for 6 years. Because we love you and we care about you. All right, figure it. What? What? This is ridiculous. I'm just going to go to another page. I'm getting so sick of using this. I'll just rewrite it. I'll just do this. I'll be fancy on y'all. Be easier for me anyway. You go to buy a car at a local car lot. Salesman has a car for you at $22,000. He really cares for you and wants you to have a small monthly payment. So he will finance for 6 years at 6%. What is your monthly payment? And how much did you actually pay for the car after 6 years? All right, just overlook the typological errors or whatever you call them. Let me insert my handy dandy formula. All right, that's going to be 22,000 times 0.06 divided by 12 over 1 minus 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12. And what's 6 times 12? 72. And that's going to be 22,000 times 0.06 over 12. 1 minus, and I'm just going to do this, 1 over 1 plus 0.06 divided by 12 raised to the what power? 72nd power. Now we take our handy dandy calculator and we say 22,000 times, parentheses, 0.06 divided by 12. I got 110 in the numerator, so let me just write that. I'm not going to store that. 110 in the numerator. Now, the denominator, I'm going to take my 0.06 divided by 12, add it to 1, and then divide 1 by that number. 1 divided by inverse answer, and raise that to the what? 72nd power. And then 1 minus that number is 0.30 blah blah blah. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put 0.3016 dot dot dot. So you'll know that I know what that is. And now I'm going to take 110 and I'm going to divide it by inverse answer. And I got a $364 payment. So that's equal to 364.61 cents. Now, how many months did we pay on that car? So we'll multiply that by 72, and that car salesman that wanted to help you out and sell you that car at $22,000, you paid $26,000 for it. Okay? Two things I want you to realize. One, the longer you finance something, the more money they're going to make. And you need to watch the interest rate. Those two things will sink you in a car or what? A house. Okay, now most people's finance for 30 years. I financed for 30 years. When I refinanced my house, when I divorced, I had to refinance. Okay, and I got a great rate since I fixed my credit. No comment. Which led to my divorce. But anyway, I had 4%. At that time, it was 4%. That was great. And I got 4%, and I did it for another 30 years. Now, why would you go to 15 years? 15 years you would go to say, but if you did not know you were going to be there, I've been on that property since I was a kid. My family has been on that property since the war between the states. I'm not going anywhere, okay? If I was in a job field where I moved a lot or something like that, I would do a 15% or a 15 year. But I did a 30 year because of that. So, you know, your own personal preference, it depends on that. The 15 versus the 30, that would depend on if you had the extra money to pay the extra payment, extra part of the payment, and you would pay off your loan a whole lot quicker. Same thing with a car. Don't always go for the lowest payment. Take the lowest payment and the highest payment and divide it by 2. Try to shoot for that because you pay off the car in about 3 years versus 6 years. Don't go over 5 years. You don't want to go over 5 years because they're getting you if you go over 5 years. All right, you're going to get some house questions too. There's going to be a lot of house questions and a lot of car questions. So make sure you do that. Get those homework questions done. All right, I know who's here. Y'all get out of here. I gotta stop.
You haven't opened the door yet, have you?
I think it's always open.
I'll go ahead and.
Yeah, you can go ahead and start on it. I just hadn't put a date on it because we hadn't